Well, moving aside from some of my newer releases for now, I do have a lot of new releases. I plan to do them, soon. Uh, yeah, but I'm still gonna stick with the one video a week on average schedule. So you'll be expecting them in about 2 months. Yeah. I know, I may want to speed it up though. Depends on how many releases I get in the next month. But yeah, this is a A321 Pheonix. Let's get into it. So this is for your info. VAir was a franchise subsidiary of TransAsia Airways, which let's just say TransAsia Airways doesn't have a very good safety record. They're one of the more infamous ones, I think, if you ask me. The delivery was, I guess, okay, I guess. Yeah, but the accident incident is just intense within like 15 years. Alright. 5-6 crashes. All in the span of 15 years. I'll give you some. Most of them were ATRs. Flight 222. ATR 72500 that was flying from Kaohsiung to Magong. Crashed near Magong on Penghu on approach. The reason was the pilot's descent was intentional, and the descent was below the minimum descent altitude during an approach in a typhoon by Typhoon Matmo, so pilot error. Flight 235, the more recent, about 6 years ago, and the more crazy one was the one where it hit the highway. Yeah, it took off from Songshan and crashed into the Keelang River in Taipei. This was the second deadliest crash in 8 months, so obviously it was really it's the famous one with where the dash cam shows the aircraft ripping through the highway. Yeah, it was an engine failure leading to pilot error. The guy, if I was correct, right, yeah, he feathered the engine, but then he feathered the wrong one by accident, so they stalled. Anyway, this was their subsidiary for the low-cost subsidiary, serving flights to Japan, South Korea, Thailand, and Cambodia. Obviously, it ceased operations in 2016. Shortly after, its parent company also ceased operations, not only because of bankruptcy, but because low passenger demand due to the infamy of it. Yeah, it was folded back 2 months before it declared bankruptcy, TransAsia Airways. During the time, it had 2 A320s and 2 A321s. This is one of them. This can see about 194 passengers in the all economy class configuration. So this is done up by Pheonix using the most recent model. Although this production was still a few years back. This is using the Pheonix model from 2013. So yeah, just still in the era before it closed. So we're still on the safe side here. So this is your typical old VAir box. This is the Kaohsiung bear. Don't mix it. This is the VAir mascot bear. Although I will say, do not try and mess it. It's also based off the Kaohsiung bear. Kaohsiung has a mascot bear. It's similar to the one at Kumamoto. I don't know why they haven't pressed copyright charges, but it's really, really similar. You guys should check it out. But yeah, it's a typical. This is the mascot VAir. Registration is Bravo 22608. Platinum series. The series doesn't mean anything. Scale clip art. They're using following the VAir color scheme, which is really nice. I like the vibrant blue you have on it. Then you've got Pheonix logo clip art, VAir, Pheonix logo registration, clip art, Pheonix logo, and more nonsense. And then the back is just one big page to say, oh, it's VAir. But yeah, the box is slightly damaged due to it being in the storage for a long time. Picked this up from a sale. It was cheap and I liked the color of it. And it was Asian, so I mean, especially Taiwanese. I like the Taiwanese airlines. Most of them have nice colors. So yeah, definitely yellowed out box. What can we say? I actually had a gear replacement for this one. Because one of it actually, the tire, right? Because one has a pin, you know, the other one has a hole. So I had the, you know, and then it fell out by accident. It was too loose. Then what happened was I had the one with the hole, but I couldn't find the one with the pin. So what I had to do, I had to heat it up, remove the gear leg using a tweezer, pop a new one in with my own glues. Yeah, that was a bit, yeah. The reason I collected this about 1-2 years ago. The reason I haven't reviewed it until now is because of the gear leg. I was trying to get the gear leg, but every time I got was the wrong one, so I had to keep shipping it back to my dealer. So anyway, here it is. I'm gonna get it onto the stand in a very short while, right? Correction, when I meant stand, I meant my apron. Yeah. Anyway, this is using a Pheonix Model from 2013. This is just repeating what I said. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so this is pretty good lah. It's one of the better A320 models out there. They've got the scaling correct. You know, it doesn't look like a JC Wings EVA A321 I have. The reason I haven't reviewed it is because it's a, it's one of my older ones, so it's very damaged. But yeah, then it's actually a lot thicker than this, like by 2mm on both ends. Don't mind that noise. Yeah, the nose shape is, well, a bit not as accurate. It's also a bit looks like the, you know, it does look a bit off. I think definitely the first curve from the top definitely could be a bit more sharper. You know, something look a bit like a 757. It definitely looks a bit like a 757. Yeah, I mean the A321 is meant to be the 757 replacement when XLR variant comes out. You know, it's just that I'm talking about the nose, not what it's supposed to replace. Yeah, yeah. Now the nose gear and everything is just the correct size. I think really just because of the first top here, you know, it does give that impression when at an angle it looks like a Tupolev F204 or 757. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's nothing much as well, you know. I don't think there's really much any errors with it. I think that definitely did a really well job on this one. It wasn't any old Pheonix. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, you can see the beautiful V-Air bear. If I'm correct, the V-Air bear is also I need to see the bear because I'm curious about the bear. Yeah, I think the bear is because they flew off from... Nah, the bear was just a mascot. I was thinking just because they originated in Kaohsiung, but it wasn't the case. Anyway, if I am too lazy to pull up the screen right now, but the Kunamoto bear looks very similar to the Kaohsiung bear. Like the mascot, not the actual bear. If I can find it. Yeah, they look so similar. Like both have like the sort of the black bear with like a white, you know, the white sort of tie, sort of like neck, you know, and then they have the red cheeks, which is, I don't know, it's just too similar for me, you know, but it isn't too similar to a point where, you know, I give you an example, Lot Airlines trying to actually try and sue Lufthansa Airlines for their crane logo being too similar to Lot's swallow logo. You know, obviously Lot didn't even, they had to pull it out immediately because Lufthansa said, you know, oh, then you should go and find Tarom, which also has a swallow livery. You know, just that the birds look a bit different and the color, the shape is a bit different as well. I saw politics in this. I mean, you know, but you got the VL logo, which is standard. Then you got registration Bravo 22608. Taiwanese airline registrations follow the Chinese ones in terms of using numerical ones. The only ones that have differ and have alphabets are the Macau and Hong Kong ones. The reason being ICAO and IATA, they do recognize Taiwan as another part of China under a different classification, but because they are both official names are Republic of China and People's Republic of China, they're both given the same Chinese starter number of B. Then we move on, and it's also one of the first few to introduce a scheme where the tail livery actually flows down the fuselage as well. You know, most common, in such a color scheme of blue, also it's the same blue, in a similar blue, would be Lufthansa. Yeah, then you've got the International Aero Engines IAE V2500s. Those are precariously dangerously low. I think that they also should be a bit higher. Yeah, they've got the 4 doors, cockpit with the registration, and a huge VL logo. A lot of these low-cost companies use small letters because they want to show that they're not very formal. It's more about the fun you have in flying, because most of these low-cost are catering to business class, not business passengers, but the more fun, the more traveling passengers. Yeah, so if you have about, you have your nav lights on top, was correct. If it's a beacon, then you have to correct me, I'm sorry. 2 antennae, 3 antennae on top. Overall, the rear, the APU looks good and everything, shiny rear. Then you have just 1 antenna at the back with the Pheonix logo, beacon light at the bottom. This is for your stand hole pin. You have to put the hole for the stand pin to go in. Then you have obviously these. Obviously, because it's a much older mold, like from an older period, the mold wasn't updated to include ram air turbines. But there's definitely some indenture here to suggest 2 ram air turbines. So that was nice. Lucky of them to save it. Just so it still has continuity in this day and era. And these are the main gears, really beautiful. Registration at the bottom, and then you've got the. Now I want to show you the beautiful IAE V2500. Obviously, because it's, again, yes, it's the same mold as every other Pheonix A320 up till now. The thing is that the engines are from an older period, just off 2013, and now I realize I have a gluing error. Yeah, one of it is a bit lopsided, but it's fine, as long as it stands properly and even. They stand out evenly, that's all that matters. Although there is a bit of suggestion for Pheonix if they haven't done so, because this was released a few years back, so I don't know if they rectified the problem of it being a bit tail heavy. It's just like the value A320. Obviously I would say that yes and no, I don't mind it, I mind it. But overall, you've got very nice detail compared to other different manufacturers like Dragon Wings or Gemini. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think this would be any expensive. I think it would be affordable, I think, if you ask me. I mean, if you like to collect beautiful aircraft, I think this is definitely a recommended one. Just some suggestions for Pheonix if they haven't done so, which is to update the mold. Even though it's launched in 2013, it still needs to update. It's really 2021, so and then I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, there's a fast quick one. Alright, if that's it, then I'll see you guys next time, and bye.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes.
Nice guys always finish last. Should've known that. Gave you my heart and you fucked around and broke that. So sad. Pretty girls hurt you so bad. Girl, you played me, did me so shady. Got me in my feelings, I can't trust lately. You so lame, took me as a game. Say guys are dog.
So I must replace you. Easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head. You found another one, but I am the better one. I won't let you forget me.
I got black, I got white, what you want? Hop outside a ghost and hop up in a fan. I know I'm about to blow, oh, ain't done.